Okay, for the question one, if you already have the answer sheet with you, you can check your answer and we can discuss it together. Wait, my slide is not moving. Oh yeah, it's already moving now. Okay, for the question one, oopsie, too much. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's correct. For the question one in here, we already have like the ratio for the number of boys and also the girls. So the ratio girls to boys is 25 to 23. In here, we already have the total number of the students is 240. Because we already have the total number of students, we also have the ratio. We can check the ratio for these so many students in total 25 to 23. We can find the ratio for 20, the total ratio, I mean 25 plus 23, it will be 48. Because we already have the total ratio which is equals to 48. We also have the total number of students 240. So it means we can say that 48 is equals to 240. So I can find 1. So I divide 48 by 48, it will be 1. Then 240, I divide by 48, it will be equals to 5. So now I have something that 1 is equals to 5. So later for the number of the boys, it will be 23 times 5, which is equals to 115. Is there anyone who get confused at question 1A before I continue to the question 1B? If you have any confusion, please let me know. Is there anyone who get confused? Hello.
Uh, teacher.
My voice is laggy or anything? Ezra, I cannot hear you.
Not like he. Not like he.
Huh? Laggy?
He not like he.
Oh, not laggy. Okay, if not laggy then.
Teacher,
Yes, Ezra. Can you maybe try to type your answer or your question?
we must to copy.
It is the yesterday's chapter wise
Oh,
test. You can check the yesterday chapter wise test answer. You can check it, and then maybe if it is wrong, you can make a correction. If it is true, you can give mark on it. Like the question 1A, the mark is 1. So later you can try to calculate how much you will get for the chapter wise test. That's it. Is it clear or is there anything confusing? No? Okay, I will continue to the question 1B. No need. Okay, if it is wrong, if it is wrong, you can make the correction. Okay, so for the question B, in year 1 day, there are 50 girls absent and 15 boys are absent. So to find the ratio when they already there are some student that is absent, we have to find the number of the boys. We already have the number of the boys is equals to 115, but it says that 15 boys are absent. So it means now there are 100 boys. And then for the girls, if in total there are 240, we already know that the number of the boys is 115. So it means when we are going to find out how many girls are there, we can just do 240 minus 115, which is equals to 125. After that, there are some student that is absent. There are 15 girls that is absent, so we do 125 minus 15. The answer will be equals to 110. Yes, Arthur?
Can you use red pen for the correction?
Yes, you can use the red pen. It will be better. So you can check it with...
Correct.
Huh? Sorry?
Teacher have to give correction. Have to give correction.
Yeah, it will be better to put a correction so you can find out which one is the mistake and later you will not be doing the same mistake again.
Teacher,
Yes, Brichita.
okay, if I like the 10 sim-
Oh, you do 10 to 11. Is it?
I the 110 and 100. Only
Uh-huh.
that one. Then the 11 and 10. That's it.
The question is in the simplest form. You have to simplify it into 11 and 10. If your final
Yeah,
answer is
I have both.
yeah, if your
I
final
have,
answer is already 11 to 10, you will get 2 marks. Just in case you haven't reached out the 11 and 10, but you already find the number of the students so many, you will get a 1 mark, because in here there are 2 marks in total. In here I just showing you until what stage you will be getting 1 mark, until what stage you will be getting 2 marks, something like that only. So if you already answered it 11 to 10, you will be getting 2 marks already. Okay.
Yeah, about 10 to
so
11.
it's okay if I not write the step, teacher.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Because the question
Yeah,
did not mention that you have to show all of the steps. Yes, Arthur?
about 10 to 11.
No, it's not okay if 10 to 11, because the question is asking girls to boys, not boys to girls. You get 1 mark if you write it as 10 to 11. You will be getting only 1 mark, because the question is asking girls to boys, not boys to girls. It will be only getting 1 mark. Is there anyone who wants to ask any question, or everything is clear enough?
Sir, go to the
Yes.
next one.
Okay. If okay, till yeah, no question. Okay. If no question, I will go to the next slide. Please let me know if you have no need later the mark, you can put your own mark. So later if maybe I give you mark and then the mark that I give it to you is different with your own mark, you can tell me so I can recheck again for your chapter wise test. So if the mark that you find out is the one that is correct, I will rectify the marks that I will give it to you next. Yeah, so you will be getting the marks that you deserve. That's why I want to discuss it with you. I want us to double checking. So because it's possible for me when it is online, when my eyes getting tired of seeing the screen, maybe I will do miscounting or anything. That's why it will be better if you try to find out your mark who much. Later if I give your mark is like less than the one that you less than what you deserve to, you can tell me so I can clarify it and rectify it and make it better as you deserve to. Okay. For the question C, next year the number of the students will increase the ratio into 23 to 20. As we remember, when we going to increase or decrease the number by a given ratio, we directly change the ratio into fraction and then we multiply it with the number in here. That's why we do 23 per 20 times 240. The answer it will be 276. Is there anyone who get confused or do not understand, or maybe I talk too fast or anything? Is there anyone who get confused at the question 1C, or maybe my internet not stable enough or anything and my voice is not audible? Is there anything? No? I cannot hear you, Brigitta. Hello? I don't know why all of the picture are buffering. I cannot see anyone. I don't know it's my internet or your internet. So maybe you can try to type it first. No question? Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the question D. Since the school... Huh? No question.
Repeat again, confused.
Which one that is confusing?
The C.
The C. Because it says, we know that the number of the students are 240. The school has 240 students. And then in here, the number of the students will increase. The number of students will increase by ratio 23 to 20. As you remember, maybe you can check your textbook also later on. When we are going to increase or decrease any value by the given ratio, we will change the ratio into fraction. So 23 to 20, it will be 23 per 20. After that, we will multiply it with the number of the students. So we will get 276 students. Is it clear enough or is it still confusing, Rahmat?
Clear.
Clear. Okay. If it is clear enough, I will move to the question D. For the question D, since the school was open, the number of students has increased by the ratio for 8 to 5. So this is not in any textbook. It was your chapter-wise test. So, oh, are you asking on which page about the increasing and decreasing ratio? Wait, let me check the textbook first. If you ask me about where is the page for increasing and decreasing the ratio, wait, I don't remember the content for your textbook. So it's on your textbook page 55. You can check on your textbook page 55 about increasing and decreasing any value using a given ratio. You can check even in the work example, all the ratio, we will change it into a fraction. That's why we do 23 per 20 times 240. Now for the question D, since the school was open, the number of the students has increased 8 to 5 because we have to find the previous one. So it means we have to do 240. We divide it by the ratio to find the previous one. So 240, when we divide it by 8 per 5, it is the same thing as we do 240. We multiply it by 5 per 8. So it means when the school was open, there were 150 students. Is there anyone having any question, or my explanation is not clear enough? You can tell me if my explanation is not clear enough, or anything that you think I need to repeat. Is there anyone who have any confusion still? No? Everything is clear enough? For sure? Afel, do you have any question? Afel? Are you still here, Afel? Afel? No question? Okay, please try to later whenever I try to call you, please try to unmute yourself and say something, because I need to check if your audio is connected to the school or not. So please, yeah, okay. Now, if you have no question, I will move to the next question, to the question 2. For the question 2 in here, there are two people named Ali and Mo. Ali, in here, the ratio for the money, it will be 9 to 7. But in here, you have to read the sentence properly. Ali received $600 more than Mo. Because it says more than Mo, so it means we have to find the ratio, the difference between the ratio for Ali and Mo. So the difference is 2. It means I need to see, and I need to tell that 2 is equals to 600. So 1, it will be equals to 300. And then for Ali, because the ratio is 9, so he will have 2,700, while Mo, she will have 2,100. And when I check, the difference in here correct $600. Is there anyone having any question, or maybe I talk too fast or anything? Yes, Orfeo, are you trying to tell me anything?
Hello, teacher.
Yes, Orfeo. Is there anything confusing?
If I count directly, like 9 per 2 times 600,
Okay,
is it okay?
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have all the steps. It doesn't have to be as the same as mine, because for ratio, for percentage, there are so many different ways. But later they will be having the same answer still. That's why for the step, it will be up to you. You can use the fraction or you can use the unitary method. In here, I use the unitary method. If you are feel more comfortable with the fraction, what you did, you are using the fraction, so it's also correct. I just do not write all of the possibility steps to find the answer. Mostly, I just use the unitary method in here. But when your final answer is the same with mine, it will be correct. Okay. Is there anyone else having any question or get difficulties so far at the question 1A, 2A, sorry? Is there anyone? No? Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the question B. In a sale, Ali buys a television for 195.8. The original price was $220. Calculate the percentage reduction. Now we have to find the percentage reduction. So before we find the percentage reduction, we need to find the reduction price first. How to find the reduction price? We need to find the difference. So in here, for the reduction price, it will be $24.2. If your reduction price is correct, It means you already get 1 mark. And then now the question is asking for the percentage reduction. So the reduction price, I need to compare it with the original price. It always has to be compared with the original price. Do not compare it with the sale price. That's why we do 24.2 per 220 times it with 100%. The final answer, it will be 11%. Is there anyone having any question, or maybe I talk too fast or anything? Is there anyone who get confused, or everything clear enough? Hello? Clear? Okay. If everything clear enough, I will move to the next slide. If you have any confusion, feel free to interrupt me whenever you have any confusion. Don't be afraid to interrupt me. During the online class, it will be better if you want to try to interrupt me rather than you stay quiet. Okay, so for the question, next question in here, in a sale, Mo buys a jacket for $63. The original price was reduced by 25%. Yes, I will share the PowerPoint later when the class ends. Because the original will always be 100%. And it's a reduced by 25%. So it will be 100 minus 25, which is equals to 75%. So in here, we already have the $63 will be equals to the 75% of the original price. So to find the original price, you can use the unitary method, you can use the multiplier, or you can use the fraction. It's okay. The final answer, it will be $84. In here, I use the unitary method. If you like to use the multiplier, you can do 84 divided by 0.75. Later, the final answers will be still $84. Is there anyone having any question, or maybe I talk too fast? You need me to discuss it more about this question? Is there anyone having any difficulties? No? Okay. If you have no difficulties, then I will try to continue to the next question. For the next one in here, there is a cuboid made of brass. It's measured by 4 centimeter by 2 centimeter by 3 centimeter. The weight, we already have it, 204 gram. We have to calculate the density. Density is mass divided by volume. We don't know the volume yet, so in here I will just find out the volume. The volume, it will be 24 centimeter cube. If you already have the 24 centimeter cube for the volume, it means you already get 1 mark. And then we have to find the density. Density is mass divided by volume. The mass, it will be equals to 204, and then the volume, it's 24. So 204 divided by 24, it will be equals to 8.5 gram. Sorry, it's supposed to be G only, not GR. The unit supposed to be G only, not GR. Yeah, so you just need to write it as G per centimeter cube. But later in the yes, Janice, what did you say before?
500 gram per centimeter cube per second.
Sorry, what did you say?
508.5 gram.
Yeah, it's also okay. It's okay. Usually in the Cambridge IGCSE, because later in a grade 10 you will be having Cambridge IGCSE, for the maths paper, most of the answer, the unit will be given. It's only like a few questions that maybe like 1 out of 100 question that will be you have to find out the unit. So it's okay for the unit. Mostly it will be given from the Cambridge question. But if like physics or maybe chemistry, the unit, you have to find it out by yourself. So the unit, it's not really matter, I think, in the IGCSE, because the unit mostly is given from the question. Okay. Is there anyone having any question? Is there anyone having any question? No question? Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the question 4. For the question 4 in here, we already have the ingredient to make 20 biscuit. We have 260 gram of butter. We need 500 gram of sugar, 650 of flour, and 425 gram of rice. Now for the question for A1, find the mass of butter needed to make 35 of this biscuit. Now because we already know the amount butter needed for 20 biscuit, it is 260 grams. So I can say 20 biscuit is equals to 260 gram. So in here I use the unitary method again. So I find the 5 biscuit, I divide everything by 4. 5 biscuit, it will be equals to 65 gram. So later if I want to make 35 biscuit, it will be equals to 455 gram of butter. Is there anyone having any question, or maybe I'll talk too fast? Because if no one asks me any question, usually I will talk too fast. So is there anyone having any question? No question? For sure? Okay. If you really have no question, then I will continue to the question for A2. For the question for A2, Michelle has 2 kilograms of its ingredient. Work out the greatest number of this biscuit that he can make. When the question is asking about the greatest number of the biscuit, you need to see the ingredient. We have to find which ingredient that having the greatest mass. The ingredient that having a greatest mass is the flour. So we can directly check the number of flour only. So in here we know that 650 gram of flour, it can make 20 biscuit. So in here I will just do 2000 divided by 650. It will be, we will have like 3 receipts. So if one receipt we will have like 20 biscuit. So in total it will be 60 biscuit. But later if teacher, if I use the unitary method, the answer will be different. It's okay. Maybe you have, if 20 biscuit, it will be biscuits. It will be needing 650 gram of flour like this. So later if we already have, how many biscuit will be there? If we have 2000 gram in here, 2000 gram of flour. Yeah, if you write packets or receipt, it will be okay. It doesn't really matter. So in here we already have 2000 gram of flour. To find the number of biscuit, if using the ratio method, you will do 2000, we multiply it by 20, and then the result we will divide it by 650. So if you use this way, later your final answer, it will be about 61 biscuit. If you answer it as 61 biscuit, that is also correct. So you can answer it as
61.5 is
biscuit cannot be in decimal. You make it into a whole number. It will be better if you make it into 61. Yeah. So maybe I will cut it a half.
if I count all of them, so I don't cut this part.
Sorry, sorry, your voice is like echoing for me. Not really. Yeah, if you get 61, it's okay. If you get 60, it's okay.
No, because I count all of them, so I'm wrong right there.
Yeah.
I
So.
count sugar, flour, as I count all, so I wrong.
So it's you don't have to count it all, you, because it says the greatest number of this biscuit that you can make. So you just need to see the greatest mass on each ingredient. So you just take out because the greatest mass in here is 650 gram. So you just focus at the 650 gram. So in here, you can answer it as 60 or 61 biscuit. Either one is okay. Even later in the Cambridge paper, if the answer is given in a range, the Cambridge people will give the range. If your answer is in between this number and this number, it means your answer is correct. In this case also, you have two possibility to answer. You can answer it as 60 biscuit or 61 biscuit. Is there anyone having any questions so far, or my explanation is too fast? Is there anyone having any question? No? Okay. If no one have no question, I will move to the question B. Okay. For the question B in here, a company makes this biscuit as the cost 1.35 per packet. Now they sell it for 1.89 per packet. We need to find out the profit. To find the profit, we need to find the difference between the selling price and also the cost price. So I just do 1.89 minus 1.35. The answer it will be 0.58. So later for the percentage profit, because it is percentage profit, we always compare it with the cost payment. So 0.54 per 1.35 times 100%. The answer it will be 40%. Is there anyone having any question, or maybe my explanation confusing or anything? Is there anyone who have confusion? Oh, if you only write the subtraction for the money in here, you only find the 0.54 only, yeah, you can get a 1.5. Yeah, it's okay. But in a Cambridge, they will not give you like a half marks. But this time, yeah, it's already a half steps correct, so I can give you a half marks if you already have the profit. Is there anyone having any question? No? Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the next question. Please let me know whenever you have any difficulties. Do not keep being quiet. I will not get mad if you ask me so many questions. It's just like my intonation. Sometimes it sounds like I get mad, but it's okay. I will not get mad rather than you stay quiet. Okay, let us move to the question 5. Fatima and Muhammad each buy a bike in here, and then Fatima buys a city bike which has the price is $120, but in here he bought it in using like a credit system, so he pays like for 60% for the first payment, and then for the next payment he will pay $10 for each month for 6 months. So in here, I need to find the 60% out of 120. It will be equals to $70. And then it says she pays $10 for each month for 6 months. So it will be 6 times 10. So overall, she will pay a $132 for this bike. Is there anyone having any question for the question 5A? How to get 132? Is there anyone who get confused? No confusion, right? Or is there anyone having any confusion? No? No one asking me anything, so I hope that none of you get confused. Now I'll move to the question 2. Work out your answer at the part A1 as the percentage of the original price of $120. Because we have to compare it with the original, and then the one that we are going to check out is 132. So the one that will be in numerator is the number that we are going to check out. So it will be 132 per 120 times 100%. It will be equals to 110%. Is my slides dark or anything happen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay then. Is it better now, or is it still dark? Because mine. Okay, okay then.
Better.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there anyone having any question or get confused before I continue to the next class? Is there anything confusing at the question 4A12?
No, teacher.
No, okay. If no one have no confusion, I will move to the question B. For the question B, Fatima and Muhammad are the members of a school team, and they want to make a charity in here. They read in total 36, they ride in total in 36 kilometer, but the 36 kilometer is only equals to 2 per 23 of the total distance. So later to find out the total distance, you will do 36 divided, yes, Rahmat?
If I write that kilometer, it's okay, right? Without the unit.
Yeah, usually in IGCSE paper, the unit will be given, so it's okay. For maths only lo ya. For another subject, you have to find out the unit. But in maths, mostly the unit will be given. So it's okay if you only write 414. Is there anyone having any question for the question B? Or maybe you have any difficulties or the explanation is not clear enough? Is there anyone having any confusion? No? Okay. If you have no confusion, I will move to the question 6. For the question 6 in here, there are 3 types of a ticket: economy, business, and also the first class. In here, we also have the ratio for economy to business to first class. It will be 2 to 5 to 9. So in here to find, because we already have the price for business ticket, we just need to compare it with the ratio of business. The ratio of business in here is 5, and then the price is 2,350. So we can write 5 is equals to 2,350. So 1, in here I use the unitary method. I find the 1. I do 2,350 divided by 5. I will have 470. So later, because the question is asking for the first class, the ratio for the first class is 9. So the 470, I need to multiply it by 9. I will get it as 4,230. Is there anyone who get confused? Is there anyone who get confused? No? No, okay. Now for the question A2, work out the price of an economy ticket as the percentage of the price of the first class ticket. Because we are going to compare, the one that we are going to check out is the economy ticket. So the economy will be at numerator, the denominator will be the first class. So in here, you don't have to find all the price for the economy ticket and also the first class. You can directly take out the value from the ratio. But if you compare it using the price, so you find out the economic price first, it will be okay. Later, the final answer, it will be the same. It will be 22.2%. You can write it as 22%. It's also okay. You can write it as 22%. Yes, Janice, what are you going to? Yeah, with 22.222, it's also okay. That is also correct. Because the question did not mention, you have to write it in how many significant figures, in how many decimal place. The question did not mention anything. Usually, three significant figures is enough. So at least 22.2%, or you want to write more number 2 at the decimal place, that is also correct. Is there anyone having any question, or my explanation is too fast? Is there anyone having any question? No? No? Okay. If you have no question, then I will move to the next question. To the question B. For the question B in here, we have, the price of the business ticket is at the same journey with the different airlines is $2,240. In here we have no ratio, we just have like a percentage increase, something like that. So we have that the first class ticket is 70% more than the business ticket. So the business ticket in here, we will make it into 100%. If the business ticket is 100% and it says 70% more, so 100 plus with 70, it will be equals to 170%. The 170% in here, I change it into a fraction. Percent means per 100. That's why in here I write it as 170 per 100 times with 2,240. So the price for the first class ticket, it will be equals to $3,808. Is there anyone having any question, or I talk too fast? Is there anyone having any question? No question? Are you sure? Okay. If you have no question, I will move to the question 2. For the question 2 in here, the price of business ticket, this is the business ticket, is 180% more than economy ticket. So in here, we will compare the economy ticket as 100%. The economy ticket, it will be 100%, while the business ticket, in this case, it will be equals to 280%. Why is it 280%? If the economy ticket is 100% and the business ticket is 180% more than economy, so it means for the business ticket, it will be 100 plus 180, which is equals to 280%. If 280% is equals to 2,240, you can use percentage in here, or you can use unitary method. It will be up to you. In here, to find the 100%, I just do 100 per 280 times 2,240. So the price for the economy ticket, it will be $800. Is there anyone having any question or get confused so far? Or maybe my explanation is too fast? I talk too fast? No, the 1244 is not a correct answer. You get the 1244 because you just read it as 180. You forget the letter more. In here it says 180% more. So it means the original will be 100, and then because it says 180% more, so it means it will be 280%. Not 180% is equals to 2240. So if any one of you have a 1244.444, it means your answer is still wrong. Maybe you can try to check using your calculator also. Maybe maybe I make a wrong calculation. I think I didn't make any wrong calculation for having $800 in here.
Teacher,
Yes, yes.
the test is out of 26 marks, right?
Yeah. But I read it as only out of 25, so there is a 1 mark bonus on it. So like,
Oh,
yeah. In Google Classroom, I write it like out of 25, right? But in total, there are 26 marks. So it means 1 mark will be a bonus for you if you answer it correctly. But if you do not answer it correctly, yeah. If like example, you get 26 out of 26, in total you get 26, it means you will be getting 25 marks on this chapter wise test. If later you in total you have 25 out of 26, I will make it as a full mark still. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, okay. Is there anyone having any question or get confused so far? No? Okay. We have like 2 minutes left. If you have no question, let me take the attendance. I haven't heard I will call those that I haven't heard the voice at all, yeah, in the class. I just want to check. Kelly, are you still joining the class? Kelly? Okay. After that, Brandon, are you still there? Brandon? Brandon? No, I don't know where is Brandon. Kelly is there. Axel, can you hear me? Axel.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Please try to unmute yourself and try to answer. Do not only type it through the chat box. Brandon, can you say something? Brandon, try to unmute, and I just want to check if if your voice your microphone is connected or not. Brandon, no. Devinson, can you say something? Hello, Devinson.
teacher.
Okay. And then Hugo, are you still there? Hugo?
Teacher.
Okay. And then Helena. Helena, are you still there? Helena, your voice is too soft. Helena? Oh, okay then. I already heard Arthur, and then Janice. Are you still there? Oh, I already heard Janice. Sorry, sorry. And then Kathleen. Are you still there? Kathleen? 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 No voice? I want to see you and also your face, Kathleen. I also want to hear your voice, Kathleen. Kathleen, can you say something? No? Okay then, and then after that, Luis, are you still there? Luis.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Kaizen is not here, and then who is it? Matthew, I already hear your voice. Wyatt is not there. Maureen, can you say something?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. After that, Mike, are you still there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Michelle, are you still there?
Yes, teacher.
Nicole?
Yes,
Nicole.
teacher.
Okay. Olivia, can you say something? Okay. And then Rachel C. Rachel C. Are you there? Rachel C.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Hedi? Hedi?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Yesaya, are you still there?
No.
Okay. And then, yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, Kaizen is not there. Maybe later I will try to check for the WebEx report. I will try to check how many minutes Kaizen were here. Okay, then. Okay, I think that's all for today's class. Good afternoon and thank you, students. Maybe tonight or tomorrow I will upload the marks to the Google Classroom. Okay?
Afternoon and good night.
Have a nice